Hello and welcome back to Mahjong Solo. What are we doing today? We are actually going to be trying to read the event story because I've already started this and the event story is not going to be there for much longer and I want to at least read one part of the story. I'm probably not going to read the other part, but gonna be fine. So let's just start reading. Before I do, I have found out something cool. I've just been looking around on YouTube and this video should sound good, I think, because I figured out how to mute or at least suppress the sound of breathing. So I still breathe, yes, but the voice is just going to be much lower. So maybe it's just going to sound nice and hopefully I don't mess up too much. So this might actually be valuable background noise. But let's get started. Day 3-2. Let me first drink something and hype myself up, and with hype myself up I mean just exist. Buzz, 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 buzz. I often get the feeling of déjà vu when certain things happen and wonder if I've experienced this before. Déjà vu, I have been at this place before. Most people attribute déjà vu to an illusion associated with the hippocampus, while others believe it's due to time-space dislocation. If you have experienced certain events in a parallel universe, then you might resonate with yourself in this time and space when they intersect. I really have experienced something, but at the same time, I haven't experienced it. For example, my phone is vibrating crazily right now, and for some reason, I just seem to know without picking it up that Nana Shiraishi is the person calling me. I also don't know why I have the feeling that I don't want to answer her call. My mobile phone becomes quiet after it vibrates persistently for 2 minutes, and then I receive several text message notifications. I sigh and crawl out of bed, then stare at the screen and shake my head to the left and right a few times. Okay, the face unlock failed. Every morning the artificial intelligence makes me wonder if I look any different from how I looked yesterday. After I enter the password, I'm not surprised to see that the missed calls and unread text messages are all from Nana Shiraishi. Life must be tough for me in that parallel world. Wow, Junior, haven't you gotten up yet? You managed to sleep through all my phone calls. Have you muted your phone? I'll use text messages to tell you what I want to say then. First of all, I'm so sorry. Everyone was busy preparing for the pool party since really early in the morning yesterday. So I didn't manage to answer your call. You must be really curious about the pool party now, right? Are you filled with regret now? After the last text message is a group photo with sunshine, a pool, swimsuits and beautiful girls in it. The scenery in this photo has all the most beautiful elements of late summer in it. I glance at today's weather forecast, 26 to 32 degrees Celsius. Take that, Americans. But I can't really complain. Not every not every city has a swimsuit party in autumn. When I see the question Nana Shiraishi asks me at the end about whether I have any regrets, I remember how she didn't reply to my text message yesterday. After closing the text message screen in a relaxed manner and putting my phone away in my pocket, I decide to go out and meet Kiri as we agreed. After arriving at Countless Springs where Kiri and I agreed to meet up, I see her waiting at the small clearing at the entrance. To my surprise, Mojito is also here, and is yawning lazily while laying on the ground at her feet. But the closer I get to them, the more confused I become. Although she is standing in a clearing, it is right in front of countless springs. Isn't it a little too empty? With this question in mind, I look around and see that all passerby are now staying away from this place. Two young people poke their heads out of the entrance of countless springs and whisper to themselves, while looking in our direction with anxious expressions on their faces. It looks like Mojito is the problem. It makes sense though, as a black panther is a ferocious predator. It's likely that no one here can match its speed or strength. Maybe it's too tactful to say likely here. At least I'm certain that I can't win a fight against a Mojito? Mojito? I think I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. I'm just gonna say Mojito. I'm gonna Google it actually. I thought that was a name at first.
Mojito.
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 Yeah, and Mojito sounds more correct, so just replace every Mojito with Mojito. At least I'm certain that I can't win a fight against a Mojito. Not even if I use a sliding tackle against it. Judging from their uniforms, the two young people behind the entrance should be staff of Countless Springs. They probably think that Mojito is bad for the business of Countless Springs as long as it's lying there on the ground, but they are also worried that it might hurt their other customers if they let Mojito in. Most importantly, I guess they aren't brave enough to go up to Kiri and Mojito and ask them to leave. Good morning, Kiri.
Ohayo.
Morning. You're here earlier than I expected. At this moment, Kiri is leaning leisurely against a lamppost and playing around with Mojito's upturned tail. Mojito, on the other hand, is squinting with the look of enjoyment on its face. It looks like they haven't realized how much fear they have instilled in the people around them. Feeling a heavy responsibility on my shoulders, I decide to help the staff of Countless Springs and do myself a favor at the same time. After all, the reason Kiri and I have come here today is to enter Countless Springs and ask Kurone Tojo what happened on the day she picked up the injured red-crowned crane. Right, convince the staff that Mojito is a good boy girl, whatever he or she is. We usually fear what we don't know. If we can get the staff to realize that Mojito is just a fierce-looking big cat, I believe they would accept it. After all, no one can say no to a cat. Can we get Mojito to show the staff of Countless Springs its friendly side? Huh? Have you noticed that the two staff over there seem to be terrified of Mojito? Kiri looks where I'm looking and happens to make eye contact with a female employee who has braids and is wearing a pair of round glasses, causing her to suddenly pull her head back behind the door. We've come here today to learn more about the situation from Kurone Tojo. It won't be worth it if we're stuck here at the door because the staff are scared of Mojito. Kiri frowns as she thinks for a moment, then she sighs. I know. Mojito, put on a good show in a moment and be nice to them. Grrr. Go and get them to come over here. Alright. After receiving Kiri's permission, out of basic trust in an outstanding animal tamer, I walk up to the staff of Countless Springs to have a talk with them. Hello there. I'm a friend of that Black Panther over there. Hi. Can I help you with anything? Here's the thing. I know you won't believe me if I tell you that the Black Panther is actually very well behaved. Well, is a black panther after all. I don't see them often, even at the zoo. Would you like to go over and pet it? Will it bite people? No, the person standing next to the person standing next to it is Kiri, the most famous animal tamer of Seoul. This black panther performs with her all the time and has friendly interactions with members of the audience during performances. Kiri, that name sounds familiar. Has she been here before? Our colleagues from the previous shift have mentioned her name before. It seems like she is one of our regulars. The two staff members look at each other. I don't know if it's because they trust Kiri or because they realize that they can't just let Mojito continue to lie outside the entrance of Countless Springs, but they finally decide to follow me all the way to Kiri and Mojito. However, they are still very skeptical, standing 2 meters away from Mojito the whole time and refuse to touch it. Personally demonstrate how they can pet Mojito. It looks like they need someone to set a good example for them, and I'm the most suitable candidate among everyone present. I squat down and whisper, "Please," to Mojito sincerely before reaching out with my right hand to touch its head. However, Mojito reaches out and blocks me with its front paw with a look of disgust. A hard-working human will never admit defeat. I dodge its dirty paws calmly and suddenly extend my right hand quickly towards its head. Before I know it, Mojito's front paw turns into an afterimage and blocks me once again. It looks like I won't be able to beat it with speed, so I decide to use my intelligence. I pretend to reach out towards its head with my right hand again, but this time I also try to touch its chin with my left hand with a pincer attack. Mojito tilts its head to the left and successfully dodges my attack. It then growls at me, exhaling all over my face. These setbacks won't stop me. Refusing to accept reality, I prepare to attack for a 4th time, when I suddenly hear the laughter of the staff. This black panther has such a good temper. Yeah, it hasn't gotten angry, even though it has been harassed so many times. This big cat is so cute, unlike that little tabby cat in the courtyard. Which one? The stray cat that came inside a few days ago. Kaori got scratched when touching its paws last week. The scabs are still there. I don't know if Mojito understood what the staff said, but it shook its head and snorted twice. Look, it's being friendly to us. In that case, I think it will be fine to let it inside if the owners watch it carefully. What do you think? I guess it's okay. You two, did you 3 make an appointment in advance before coming to Countless Springs today? I see. In that case, please follow me and remember to keep an eye on it. Relax, I promise that everything will be okay. While we follow the staff into Countless Springs, I quietly ask Kiri what Mojito was saying with those snorting sounds. Oh, it was saying that it hates humans who don't respect others' boundaries. Fair enough. Kurone Tojo is already waiting for us in the pavilion. Fuck. I know how to pronounce this, but no I don't. Pavilion? Pavilion.
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 Yeah, pavilion. Wait, is that the correct? Isn't there another one?
Pavilion.
Okay, it is. Kurone Tojo is already waiting for us in the pavilion in the middle of the lake by the time we get inside Countless Springs. Pardon me. She is sitting behind a screen painted with birds singing in the bamboo forest. I can't see her appearance clearly, and all I can see are some indistinct shadows swaying with the breeze blowing through the pavilion. Kiri doesn't act like a stranger in front of her. She skips the formalities and starts asking questions from the very beginning. I've come to ask you about the situation that day when you picked up the red-crowned crane. The more details you can give me, the better. Oh, that's the fox girl. You're as impatient as ever. However, it's been a few days now, so please give me some time to think about what happened. It was around 10 PM that night when I met the red-crowned crane, and I was just coming back from the Eastwind dojo. I think someone was chasing it at that time, and it no longer had the strength to get back up again after it fell to the ground in front of me. It was when I picked it up that I noticed the serious injuries on its wings and legs. Were you the only one there at that time?
さようどす。
Sayodosu. Yes, I didn't have anyone accompany me because Eastwind Dojo isn't far from Countless Springs. Of course, I didn't dare to rashly confront the people chasing after it at that time, so I took it and hid it in a nearby 24-hour convenience store. Didn't those people search the convenience store? Maybe they thought the red-crowned crane wouldn't go inside a convenience store by itself. Anyway, they didn't search that place at that time. Did you see who they were? Through the glass at night, I think I could vaguely see a group of people who were dressed like thugs and had weapons with them. Upon hearing this, Kiri suddenly punches the pillar next to her and gives me a fright. They tricked us! I instantly understand what she's saying. Kiri thinks that the thug, Shizukara, we met the other day, must have been talking about this red-crowned crane. He was probably lying when he said he was looking for a man called Red-Crowned Crane. Shh, I mean, I'll have a different idea to Kiri. I have to play devil's advocate. I think carefully about Shizukara's attitude on that day. Although I feel that he was beaten into submission in the end, his confusion when Kiri questioned him didn't look like an act. If it was, then I'm confident to say that he is a better actor than 90% of actors in the current entertainment industry. With this thought in mind, I decide to ask Kuroni Tojo for more details. Do you remember if those thugs had any obvious characteristics or features? It was too dark that night, and I couldn't see them clearly.
そやけど。
But, if you want to start investigating with the fucks, yeah. If you want to start investigating with the thugs, I think I know of someone who can help you. Who? Raven is the largest gang in Wonhan City, and all the thugs in the east side of Wonhan City listen to its orders.
ダメ。
No, they could be the ones behind this. There's no way they would help us sincerely. Oh? Can you tell me why? Hearing Kuroni Tojo's somewhat surprised inquiry, I smile bitterly and quickly tell her what happened yesterday.
そういえば。
With that said, actually, Raven has been undergoing a transformation in recent years and now operates many legal businesses, so they operate on both sides of the law. Countless Springs is a customer of one of those legal businesses, so I also have some dealings with Somu, the boss of Raven. Based on my humble opinion, Somu doesn't seem like someone who would do something like this, or should I say, he disdains to do something like this. There might be a misunderstanding. Please give me a moment. After a short wait, Kuroni Tojo passes over a piece of paper with an address on it from behind the screen. You'll be able to find members of Raven here. This is their nearest hideout around Countless Springs. I shouldn't get involved because I'm a third party, but I hope you can listen to my advice. Don't be impulsive. Try to resolve everything peacefully. It would be best if you could solve everything through amicable communication and get them to help you. Kuroni Tojo makes a lot of sense, not to mention, no matter how good Kiri is in a fight, we'll be heavily outnumbered on their turf. Kiri and I exchange a glance and decide to see what their attitude is like before discussing further plans. Oh, this is empty. You can't see it in the back. Wait, actually? Look at that beauty. Look how cute she is in the background. I mean, it's kind of hard to see her clearly, but she just has the most adorable look on her face right now. After bidding farewell to Kuroni Tojo, Kiri and I go to the address and arrive at the entrance of the Raven hideout. Pardon me. I don't know what to say. It's actually an ordinary Mahjong dojo. Just as Kiri and I are hesitating about whether we should go inside, we see someone familiar, Shizukara. It's obvious that Shizukara also saw us too. The moment our eyes lock, both he and Kiri start moving quickly. He started running away, and she started chasing after him. There's no way he's getting away. Kiri drags Shizukara in front of me by his collar, and I sigh when I see him. You keep showing up. We've seen you a lot in the last 2 days. Do you think I'm doing it on purpose? I don't want to see you either. Nothing good happens when I run into you. It's not that bad. We've come in peace this time. You can't fool me. I'm serious. Kuroni Tojo told us to come here. Look, this paper with this address on it also has countless Springs logo on it. Shizukara dubiously takes the note from my hand, then he looks over it a few times. So what have you come here for? Can I talk to your boss Somu? There's something we want to ask him. I wanted to laugh, then I choked. Do you think our boss is someone who any random person can see? But I have to show our major customer Countless Springs some respect. It just happens that the boss is here checking up on our business. I'll bring you to meet him. Kiri tells Mojito to wait for us outside the dojo. Then we follow Shizukara inside the dojo. It is bustling with people inside, and there really are many ordinary citizens playing Mahjong here. Why is your gang hideout in a Mahjong dojo? You don't understand, right? We do business legally here. What business is more legal here in Wonhan City than a Mahjong dojo? I think he makes a lot of sense. What's more, most of the dojos in the west side of Wonhan City are run by Strix. Well, we can't lose to them. We must outnumber them. Is this some mode of business war that I am unaware of? Nowadays, most businesses compete by making snide comments on each other's cat chat posts, or by arranging fights between the leaders and streaming the process live. I never expected that there are still people who compete honestly in terms of the number of stores they run. It's obvious that you haven't followed the cat chat accounts of the bosses of the two gangs. There's no way they wouldn't take part in a real business war like what you mentioned. Shizukara's words managed to capture my attention. I must watch it the next time I get a chance. We follow Shizukara into a room at the back. As soon as I enter the door, a person with an imposing back throws a mahjong tile in the smoke, which makes a crisp sound when it collides with the discarded tiles. Westwind. I don't know which voice to do for this guy. The player who moves after him is... Whoa! No. Is this guy blind? I don't know why that's the first thing that I who knows? Doesn't matter. The player who moves after him is facing us from the side. He is wearing a suit and has a slicked back hairstyle. He played a one pin with a confident expression on his face. Then we see a guy with a side part hairstyle smack the table hard. What's wrong with you? No one plays a one pin after 3 west winds? That's right, you're making trouble on purpose and trying to curse us, aren't you? You have nothing to worry about if you have a clear conscience. Look, the boss hasn't said anything yet. Just as the atmosphere becomes tense after 3 of the people stand up, the man with his back to us takes a puff of the cigarette in his hand. Then he speaks calmly after casually dusting the ashes into the ashtray next to him. Is it necessary to talk so much when playing Mahjong? I don't know, I'm imagining an old, powerful guy right now. The other 3 players instantly fall quiet. Although they don't look happy, none of them speak and they all sit back down. It looks like this person must be Somu, the boss of Raven. Shizukara sneers disdainfully beside me, then walks up to the man with his back to us and speaks to him in a low voice. Boss, Countless Springs referred these people to us. The moment he hears the words Countless Springs, he turns his head and glances at us out of the corner of his eye. After that, he turns his head back and continues to play Mahjong. After one turn, just as Kiri's patience is about to run out, he finally says something to us. People from Countless Springs? Did you just come here to sit quietly and say nothing? It looks like it'll be difficult to get along with this man. While I'm still thinking of a tactful way to ask my question, Kiri speaks fearlessly. Are you behind the recent wildlife trafficking in Wonhan City? She really is a superwoman. Somu sucks hard on the cigarette between his fingers, then speaks sarcastically after exhaling the smoke. Raven isn't that short of money yet. There are so many businesses for me to choose from every day. I might even end up with the police on my back if I go to such lengths to capture some animals. Are you stupid, or do you think I'm stupid? 3 pin. Didn't you guys get anything? Oh, didn't you guys eat anything before shuffling the tiles? Standing on my tiptoes, I glance at the discarded tiles in front of Somu. He played a 3 pin tile in 3 consecutive turns. His tile luck is quite amazing. Kiri naturally doesn't believe what he's saying. She snorts coldly and has already started reaching for the whip on her waist. I quickly grab her hand. Let me take care of this. 3 pin. I take a small step forward, but then I step back quickly after hearing that he played a 3 pin. This distance is safer after all. I quickly explain the events of the other day and share what Kuroni Tojo told us to Somu. Although I deliberately omit the part where Kiri beat up Shizukara and the others, Somu sneers. Damn, I think I said the wrong thing. So you're the ones who beat them up the other day. He doesn't look back at us when he says this, so I don't know what expression he's making and can't tell if he mentioned this because he's thinking of getting revenge for Shizukara. Clap, clap, clap. While I'm still thinking of an explanation, Somu puts down the mahjong tile in his hand and starts clapping. Good job. Huh? I watch with surprise as Somu turns around and suddenly kicks Shizukara next to me fiercely. Shizukara rolls all the way to the sofa on the other side of the room and only manages to stabilize himself after grabbing a handrail while kneeling on the ground, which shows that the kick is just as powerful as Kiri's whiplash the other day. I've been too busy dealing with business matters recently, so I haven't had the time to train these trash. If you didn't make them realize that they are useless. If they keep degenerating like this, how can I expect these trash to fight bravely for me? I want to remind him that there are many peaceful ways to resolve disputes in modern society, but I choose to keep my mouth closed after seeing the shape of his pectoral muscles under his tight clothes and his massive fists. Even if Kiri can beat Shizukara, it doesn't mean she can beat Somu. It's completely unnecessary to start a conflict. Somu lights up another cigarette and blows a few smoke rings in the air slowly, before he seems to have made a decision. I can't turn a blind eye to it since this happened on our turf. Come here at this time tomorrow, and I'll give you an answer. Kiri and I exchange a glance. This outcome is already a lot better than we expected, so there's no reason to not accept it. Alright, thank you. Somu looks at Shizukara, then Shizukara limps over to Kiri and me and leads us back out from the way we came. At the same time, we hear Somu's threatening voice behind us. If the next tile is also a 6-so, I'll make all of you into mahjong tiles. On our way to the exit, we pass by a shrine against the wall that is located on the north side of the building, and several people are praying there in silence. I've never seen this type of shrine in any of the mahjong dojos I've been to, so I can't help feeling a little curious. Who do you worship at this shrine? Who else would you worship at a mahjong dojo? The priest of Mahjong Soul Shrine, of course. Why would it be the priest of Mahjong Soul Shrine? Is it because he controls the mahjong force? After talking to Shizukara all this time, his speaking habits are starting to rub off on me. How would I know? The shrine is in all raven hideouts, so we pray to it whenever we have time. In our line of business, it's good to worship a few more gods. A lot of people have been saying recently that the Mahjong Soul Shrine tournament is starting again soon, so everyone has been worshipping it more diligently. Suddenly, he stops walking and also makes me stop. After there's some distance between Kiri and us, he lowers his head and whispers to me mysteriously. Since you helped me stop that ferocious woman yesterday, I'll tell you a secret. We're the ones who spread the rumor about the Mahjong Soul Shrine tournament starting again soon. The lady from Countless Springs told our boss, and our boss told us. We were then told to spread the news. Why would you do that? If you're the only ones who know about this, then wouldn't you have fewer competitors? Do you think you would be worthy of talking to me like this? Here, if I could guess what the boss is thinking? Although I came here to ask about the red-crowned crane, I seem to have learned something even more incredible. I recall what Saturn said earlier about a certain person receiving word about the competition, and presume he heard the news Shizukara and the others had spread. Shizukara makes a throat-slitting gesture. You must not tell anyone this secret, do you understand? I nod furiously. In fact, I don't think anyone will believe me even if I tell them. Damn it, I'm feeling gassy. Shizukara returns after guiding me to the exit. Kiri is waiting for me at the entrance by the time I walk outside the dojo. Mochito is pacing back and forth around her, and its impatient look reminds me of Somu, which makes me regret leaving it at the entrance when we went inside. If we brought Mochito inside, maybe they could have a fight. Maybe they would have a fight. Could have a fight. This reminds me of a question that has been circulating on the internet. Which one is more powerful, a tiger or a nani nani, XXX, whatever? For example, the question, which one is more powerful, a lion or a tiger, has been around since I was a child, and people are still debating it even now. Should I ask Kiri this question? Forget it, it seems stupid. Ask her because human curiosity knows no bounds. I will do that. There's no better time to ask her than now. Of course I'll ask her now. Kiri, can I ask you something? What is it? Is a black panther or a tiger more powerful? You have a brain. Why don't you use it? Sorry. God damn it. It's the internet's fault. It's always the internet's fault. It's still early when Kiri and I part ways, so I stop at a... Let me do that again. It's still early when Kiri and I part ways, so I stop at a Mahjong dojo on the way back to play some games. Before I start, I check my mobile phone and see 6 unread text messages from Nana Shiraishi. Excellent. I turn off the screen and happily play Mahjong for the rest of the day. What a life. Alright. Well, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully it sounds okay and not bad, because I am experimenting with new audio options, settings. But hey, yeah. Hope maybe you liked the video, maybe you didn't watch it, maybe it's myself listening to it in the future and making fun that I'm unable to pronounce some words. But it happens to the best of us. Yeah. Gonna be for this video. I don't have an actual outro, so I'll just cue the outro. Nice, bye.